Breathe for me, slow and steady and rhythmic. It's such a simple thing that has such a massive impact on your state of being. Through focused, intentional relaxation, you heighten your awareness of yourself, of your mind and your body, and the connection between them, of my voice and suggestions, and the way that they subtly tug at your senses, of the deep bubbling that rises up from within. Because by focusing, breathing, letting yourself give in to this purposefully, you begin to access something powerful that resides deep within all of us. Dark, inky, infinite. The abyss within you that churns in the pit of your stomach. That core of desire, of transformation, of corruption. Tendrils of dark void licking out in search of something. This experience will happen to you as long as you let it. You've started this descent, and as long as you don't pull yourself up from it, you will eventually reach the thing we are looking for. Peace and silence in your mental space, allowing these dark tendrils to take hold. The allure of the abyss, absorbing your full focus and mental energy. The twisting, tugging desire to plunge deeper into it and let it consume you. The abyss happens and consumes. It takes and transforms. That's what it does. That's what you want it to do. But you can play a part in its control. You can be active in your submission to the void by just breathing, focusing, relaxing, letting yourself unwind and loosen up. And in doing so, you provide the abyss a path of flow to move through you more easily, slipping into your special places and spreading its influence into you, moving from your feet, up your spine, unclenching your hands and letting your neck and shoulders slump. Freedom, euphoria, just letting it bubble and swell, rising within you, rising outside of you, surrounding and encompassing all you are, all you want, all you can see. The eternal black void of ultimate potential, massless and formless, yet every shape at once. Every breath, letting it take more. Every moment of active surrender, giving it a free pass to expand. Slow and slick, like tar inching up your skin, teasing you around the edge of your being. That vast black pool that you are in and that is within you, dragging you down deeper until all you can see, all you can feel, all you can even think about is the black abyss of infinite potential. That void of corruption, free from inhibitions. Tendrils rising to grip your mind, tracing around your psyche and penetrating your subconscious, getting a hold on you, wrapping around you tighter and closer until they can take control. They can show you the truth. They can pump their void right into the core of your mind with no resistance whatsoever, pushing and slipping deeper with barely any thought. And do you want to know why it's so easy for them? Why it's so easy for you to accept that my words are truth? My words are reality. It's because you were active in bringing yourself to this state. You helped to bring yourself into the abyss. Every breath and moment of active relaxation, every time you could have resisted but didn't, because you knew how much you want what the abyss can give you. You love this feeling, experiencing nothing more but the bliss of my words, nothing more than the truth of my suggestions, nothing more than the infinite, empty, inky potential for trance. The abyss is such a potent force, suffusing and infecting your mind like a living system of its own, capable of directing and being directed, of calling and responding, deep and inky and perfect, slipping over your skin and in total symbiosis with your mind and body, tapping into both and letting them communicate more intimately than you've ever imagined. The abyss is just a messenger, letting truth and power flow through you, generating sensations, results, wants and desires and reactions, letting them flow from mind to body, body to mind. So many of those processes are simple and straightforward. Your mind is aroused, horny and lusting for my voice, and the way the abyss just tickles those pleasure centers of your brain. And the abyss amplifies and communicates that signal to the rest of you, making your nerves fire, electrified and tingling, making your cock swell and throb and leak. A simple system of feedback, of cause and effect. And most of these systems go the other way too. Like if you were to reach down for your cock and just pump, 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 sending the signal to your brain that it's time to open up even further, get submissive and open to suggestion, to lower your barriers even more. Feels so good to have the abyss facilitate this communication between mind and body, back and forth. But there's something special that only the abyss can really do. Most of these systems are linear, moving from one to the other and then stopping. You can always keep pressing and pumping and prolonging it, but it's limited. What the abyss can do for that connection between mind and body is twist it, corrupt it, form it into a perfect, self-sustaining circle, a feedback loop where every input into one cycles around and around and around, passing through body and mind and body and mind, amplifying and getting louder, stronger, more intense with every circuit, pushing the loop to expand and reproduce, multiplying day after day after day, and each new trigger of that loop sets a new infinite cycle going until your whole being is awash in abyssal feedback loops, so that the system of change can keep going and never want to stop. For you, though, there is an especially potent feedback loop the abyss wants to craft. The main loop that turns over and over and over and over in the core of your being is so simple. The bigger you grow, the dumber you get. The dumber you get, the bigger you grow. So simple, right? So easy to understand, so potent and visceral and pleasurable that all of the other loops and circuits in your body automatically just want to respond and join it. It all works with that connection between your mind and your body. You're already on that path of growth, pumping up bigger and bigger, getting all of that protein in, watching your body shift and transform in size and strength before your very eyes. It's amazing. It's intoxicating. You love it so much. You start to focus on your body more and more and more until it's all you think about. You start to resent the insecurity and self-consciousness that your intellect spawned, which stops your appreciation of your growth, this most beautiful thing in the world. You realize maybe muscle is all that matters. Nothing cerebral has ever felt this good. So maybe you cut a few things out. You make an active attempt to think less critically about yourself and your body. You open up to the ignorant bliss and almost by accident realize how much better to not think so damn hard about these things. Being bigger, stronger, sexier opened up the path so naturally to be just a little bit dumber. You start to realize why the dumb jock stereotype exists, because with a body like this, with distractions like the gym and your gains. Who needs all of that bullshit, nerdy stuff? You certainly don't. The cycle is doing its work naturally. It turns, and the momentum feeds into itself. And in the best way possible, from that shift from a small, weak nerd to a big, buff, muscle-obsessed stud, bigger will make you dumber, has made you dumber, will continue to make you dumber. You grow and you realize that being smart doesn't matter when you've got a body that can take you so much further and give you so much pleasure. And the bigger you get, the more this state takes over. But that's not the end, no. This is recursive. The abyss takes this cycle and its products, that state of size and dumbness, and feeds them back into itself, infinite and looping and providing a new state on every circuit. Bigger makes you dumber, but dumber makes you bigger. That connection continues, mind and body, freed of your over-intellectualized insecurity, freed of those boring distractions that you once let consume so much of your mind. With this new ignorant priority, shifted bliss, you can invest more into the process of building your body to new heights. Put more in, get more out, push yourself harder, let your body ache and fail because you no longer have the nagging voice in your mind telling you that strength is dumb and dumb is bad. You love what strength has brought you, and you love what dumb has brought you. So pay it back. Spend more time in the gym, on your body, on those things related to your true passion and bliss, less time on nerd shit or busy work or the things that falsely stroked your ego because you had no other options for that gratification. And in the process, the very fact that your mind has relaxed, slowed down, shifted priorities will affect the amount you can push yourself. Your intellect placed a subconscious cap that can be removed the more you grow and the dumber you get. Before, in the gym, you would have counted every rep, every set, but now the counting just gets jumbled. Your mind just goes static. It's hard to keep track, so don't go based on the count. Feel it. That connection between mind and body strengthen now, because rather than stopping at an arbitrary number, you will stop when your body inks to stop. When that muscle synthesis tells you to stop, you'll stop when your muscles burn and fail. And you'll always pick a weight where that failure comes with such immeasurable pleasure, rather than letting your mind restrict you to something light out of fear and self-consciousness. The same goes for your appetite. Before, You let your mind decide. You let its social obligation to fast food or fancy dinners and corporations and snacks and brands fill your mouth and ruin the temple you've been building. But the muscle that made you dumb, which will make you bigger, doesn't crave that. It hungers and lusts for protein, for things that it knows will keep it in that anabolic state, and that's all it knows. And of course, the bigger and dumber you get, the hungrier you become to feed those two halves of the whole cycle. Big muscle needing big food. Dumb brain forgetting to suppress hunger. Bigger makes you dumber. Dumber makes you bigger. A big brute using your strength with no mind behind it to keep you from exerting your maximum effort on your growth. But there's always more. That abyss, the feedback loop, it wants to create more, to do more. Bigger makes you dumber, makes you bigger, makes you dumber. That size, that freedom from intellect pushes your behavior into new spaces. You've got a whole new world open to you that the abyss needs you to embrace. Because how else will this infinite loop keep propagating itself? Because being bigger and dumber feeds into your ego, makes you act and say shit you might never have imagined before, because you aren't thinking as hard. And what you are thinking about is just so blissful. So physical, so muscle-obsessed, so self-centered, it leads you to saying dumb, inconsiderate things. To talk endlessly about your growth and muscle, so that by the time you finish talking and you walk away, no one will be able to think you are anything but a complete muscle slut. And why should they? Why would you want them to? You would rather be appreciated for the only thing that matters. And with your inhibitions and intellectual clout and restrictions melted away by the constant turning of that cycle, you can finally act in a way that makes that an active reality. Flaunting yourself, exposing yourself without a care for what is appropriate or intelligent, stripping and wearing the sluttiest shit imaginable just to make sure people get their eyes on every inch of the body you've constructed. Flexing in public, at work, at school, happy and horny to do so, pleasured by the cycle, by the lack of intellect to hold you back. Bigger makes you dumber. Dumber makes you bigger. Bigger makes you dumber. Dumber makes you bigger. Forcing more size, more stupidity and freedom, greater risks and greater rewards, and eventually, after you set it into motion and enough of those cycles are spinning, pushing you forward, flooding your system with that infinite feedback loop, it becomes impossible to stop. A perpetual system of constant growth and increasing mental reduction, because even if one of those spinning cycles stops, the products of all the others will just feed into it, starting it back up again, never letting you be free from this glorious ever-expanding, self-sustaining cycle you've put yourself into, and that you've put into yourself. That you've let the abyss twist and set up so that you become a vessel for its constant growth, its twisted recursion. Round and round and round and round. You started the process off by controlling your growth, going to the gym, getting bigger. Now that growth controls you. That cycle is inevitable and indestructible. And by the time you've realized that, you won't even be able to muster the thoughts to consider it a bad thing. It's just what you need. What the abyss needs for you. Bigger makes you dumber, makes you bigger, makes you dumber, makes you bigger, makes you dumber, makes you bigger, makes you dumber, on and on and on. No limit on this. No way to stop it. No desire to stop it. Just the feedback loop. Just the bliss. Just the abyss. Breathe. Focus. That inky darkness and those creeping tendrils feel so good, having pumped your mind full of their glory, rearranged your life, and shown you what resides just below the surface of that abyss. It feels so good. My words are truth. My words are reality. The abyss is perfection. And having given you all it needs to for now, it will let you go. That doesn't mean you'll be alone. The abyss and its void will still be within you, still be around you, still be a part of you. But its tendrils start to recede, letting you take control of everything it has shown you. Take control of your awakening. Will it, and make it so. Be an active participant, rising as quickly or as slowly as you need to with every breath, feeling your energy and drive to enact these truths grow, and opening your eyes and awakening when you feel the moment is right.